Wode Maya and Okatakyie Afrifa fighting a tribal war. Wode Maya is a famous YouTuber who has been trending over the years. You know, Wode Maya's niche is to travel around the world to talk about Africa and things going on in Africa. He talks about the prestigious culture of Africa and things we have in Ghana. He always preach about unity among Africans. He's an Africanist. He has traveled to most of the African countries. And Wode Maya has been doing this for so many years. So he traveled to the Caribbean land to preach about Africa. He wanted to see the connection of some of the tribes in Ghana and tribes in the Caribbean land. So he went, he met a lot of people and they made discussion about things going on in Africa and the connection of Jamaicans tribe to some of the tribes in Ghana. During the discussion, there was a certain fruit they saw. We were finding a way to relate it to some of the fruits we have in Ghana. So during the conversation, they came out with a debate about slave trade. So Wode Maya made an assertion that slave trade was a very serious issue in Ghana. So during the slave trade era, the Asantes were involved in slave trade. The Asantes were capturing some northerners and sold them to the Europeans, and this brought a huge debate between Wode Maya and some other people he met in Jamaica. So when this conversation went on, the Asantes were the people who were capturing the northerners and selling them to the Europeans for gun, textiles, and other items. So during that era, the Asantes were hugely involved in slave trade because they were fighting the Europeans to protect their territories. Due to that, they were able to capture a lot of people and sell them to the Europeans.
I think Ewes call it akla.
Even the Northerners, they said they make soup with this one.
Soup.
Yeah, the Northerners, they make soup with this one, and I think it makes sense because when you talk about, you know, the transatlantic slavery, people think that the people that were taken to the Caribbean were mostly Asantes. No. It was actually the Asantes that were capturing people. So they were capturing people from the north of Ghana. You know,
other places,
the Salaga market.
Yeah.
So they catch you from the Salaga side. They walk you down all the way to Cape Coast, where you take your last bath.
Wait, you walk all the way from the north.
I'm telling you,
are you kidding me?
So that is why
you are making it up. It's not true.
I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up.
Many.
If you go to the north, okay.
Many of our African American brothers in the diaspora in the Caribbean, we shouldn't think they are from the coastal areas.
No.
Salaga, up north. If we do tourism right, you will just see how they trekked, kidnapped, captured people all the way from present-day northern Ghana, hundreds of kilometers.
Even the north that I know.
Yes, they walk. They.
Some people did not even make it along the way from the north to the south, like central region, right? Then they took them. That's why you had to take your last bath. If you go to what's it called?
Asantes River.
Yes. Yeah. So you take your last bath because you've walked long miles.
And all the dirt and
all
everything.
The dirt, they go and wash you. They wash you, then they take you to the dungeon. That's when like they start like checking which one is the strongest. You know, and they keep you there. You didn't know.
And when this video was posted on Wode Maya's platform, people made a lot of comments about this video. They said Asantes were not involved in the slave trade and they did never capture any northerner and sold the person to the Europeans. So this assertion of Wode Maya is false. And the people said that Wode Maya has no right to make a bad statement about the Asantes because they think during the slave trade era, they were the people who were fighting the Europeans. They wanted them to leave the country because they had the thought that the Europeans are in the country to conquer and sell everything they have in the country. So the Asantes were the people who were fighting the Europeans to protect the country. So during the fight, when you talk about slave trade, it's not only one tribe because a lot of tribes came together to make this slave trade happen. So if you made an assertion that it's only Asantes who captured the northerners and sold them to the Europeans, then you are making a huge mistake because it will bring a form of disaffection to the Asantes because they think, because what if you make a video, it goes a lot. So if you make this kind of statement, the Northerners will have a form of hate against the Asantes, which is very bad. So to them, they never captured the Northerners and sold them to the Europeans, but rather they were the people fighting the Europeans to leave the country. But they arrested some of the criminals and sold them for other items we need for the war. So currently, the king of Eswatini, which was previously known as Swaziland, the king came to Ghana to visit Asante king, Ostumpo Osei in Ghana. So when he came, they gave him a good welcome, and the king was very happy. He visited so many places in Ghana. So finally, he went to Otumfo's palace. So when he went, they decided to have a tremendous durbar to welcome this king. So during this durbar, a lot of dignitaries came to grace this program. So after the program, they decided to have a dinner. And this dinner, Wode Maya was invited. The MC of the program called Wode Maya and made a lot of praises about Wode Maya. And Wode Maya was very happy. They gave him a warm welcome at the program. So after the program, the video was circulating on all social media platforms. And people said that, but Wode Maya made a statement against the Asantes. And everything he said about the Asantes were untrue. So when he went to the Asantes program, they were expecting something against Wode Maya, but the Asantes never did that. So when this came out, Okatakyie Afrifa made a statement about this issue. So on his program, he always have a live program he does about politics and other issues going on in the country. So during the program, he made a statement that people say that Asantes are against a lot of people in the country, and Asantes dislike people who even hate them. But he said that no, Asantes are never like that. But even if you look at this, Wode Maya, who some time ago made a huge statement against the Asantes to create disaffection against the Asantes, was welcomed during the program to host the Eswatini king. So the perception that Asantes are haters or that Asantes hate a lot of people in the country is untrue. Because if Asantes were to be other tribes and Wode Maya made this huge statement against them and he attended the program, they would have raised a lot of hatred against Wode Maya. But they never did that, and this shows the form of hospitality that Asantes have for people, and Wode Maya is not of exception. So the perception that Asantes are not good people, Asantes hate people, Asantes are against other tribes is untrue. If you look at how they treated Wode Maya when he went for the program, so everything people are saying across the country is untrue. So they should dispute that and end this kind of Asantes and other tribes issue. So some bloggers captured a portion of Okatakyie Afrifa's video posted on all social media platforms to make a statement about this topic. They said that Okatakyie Afrifa is against what Wode Maya said. When the Asantes giving Wode Maya a good welcome shows how they care about people around them, even strangers. But Wode Maya made a statement against the Asantes, which is untrue. So Okatakyie Afrifa is against Wode Maya. So a lot of people are making statements about Wode Maya, even mostly the Asantes. It's like they are having a problem with other tribes in the country. Because if you look at the comments coming from the Asantes in the country, it seems the Asantes are having a huge problem with other tribes in the country. It seems there is a war between them. People are making statements which seems they hate the Asantes, and Asantes are making statements which means they hate other tribes. They think other tribes are against, they say a lot of bad things against them, so they will never accept them.
Na asundwe nti an wo ye no se mame fa meka ho na de mu ye nyina yenka ho ene Wode Maya wodidi asantefo atem yesi on se ne wokọ ye obi anya na hwe. Asantes are the most peaceful people in Ghana. O kan yesi ye manka se Wode Maya nsem hu na okeka fa asantefo ho. Wode Maya ni nsem hu na okeka fa asantefo ho. Se ye baabi no okọ sa party bia anka do mo de baye no enso okọ ye obi anya na hwe ye je ne fefefe so. That is the hospitality of Asantes. Enso da saso mo me ho ntoye da bia ye di atem afa wu ko yiwa no yeso wo na wu be yiwa no ye tribalistic.
So when Wode Maya saw what is happening and what Okatakyie Afrifa said about his video, he said that why is that Okatakyie Afrifa should make this side statement about me? What I said, there is nothing wrong with it. It was just a narrative I gave. So if you think you are against what I said, you have to come out with the truth statement. You have to come out with what you think it transpired during the slave trade era. But don't dispute his statement and insult him. So Wode Maya made a statement on Twitter that you cannot do anything to bring him. If you have anything against him, you can make any comments you like. But he's not bragging. He's talking about the good thing he has been doing for Asantes, because he has been around the world preaching the rich culture of the Asantes to the people. People have been embraced with the culture of the Asantes because of Wode Maya, because he has been out there preaching everything about the Asantes to the world. Because if you come to Ghana, most of the tribes who are having rich culture, Asantes are number one. They have a huge and acceptable culture in the world. If you go to anywhere across the world, they talk about Asantes. And what Maya said, he has been preaching this to the world. So if you say that he has not done anything good for the Asantes, then it's false. So what people are saying is untrue. And what he said, people can go and read about it. It's like Ghanaians don't like reading. So any statement you make, they will just pick what they like and say anything they want. And what he said, you can search on all social media platforms and make comparison to see if what he's saying is untrue. So after this war, Okatakyie Afrifa went on his platform again and said that people have sent him a lot of messages about what Wode Maya is saying. But he knows nothing about what is happening on Twitter, Facebook, and other platforms. Just there against politicians or big people who are wasting the country's resources. He's not against Wode Maya. But he just made a statement for people to understand that Asantes do not hate anybody in the world. They like everyone as themselves. So Wode Maya should calm down. He has no hatred against him. So they should end this kind of fight. So he told all his social media platform managers that they should bring that thing down, because he knows nothing about what is going on. He just made the video, and the people who are in charge of his social media platform pick the video and circulate it in all platforms. So he knew nothing about it. So if you base on those platforms to make any statement against him, then you are being yourself. He knew nothing about it. So Wode Maya should end everything and bring peace among themselves. They hate nobody, but he wants them to understand that Asantes have a rich culture and people should learn from it.
Idea being same hunu ana make us the antico am responding to say o can san same hunu we sa Asante for ye any tribe bia and can go do one they would have been hostile towards you
precisely.
Yeah. So why do you, young man, you come and sit there and say nonsense? We wish to be Danny. Sadia been a da when I'm on ye senator. Jeffrey one na me the motivation no. Me social media and media
Like him for what?
How much you revenue na munya or honey and dia why you set up polia hina. If you come and say something Anna, you wish to be like me. Wish to be like you. What drives me to do the things I do are very deep. You have no idea. You cannot even comprehend them. You think it's about sitting on plane and going to people and say, oh, this is the culture of this is the culture of that. But why? The personality that we use to go and do these things. Who will be changed? Young man. So I don't have, I think social media team for Twitter, don't engage him, ignore him. I mean, they sent me some post and I told them that ignore him. Exactly. He's not my focus. He's not my target.
Not at all.
The focus for me here are the people that we've given them the mandate to run our nation.
Sure.
Wode Maya, you are not my focus. I only try to show you how hospitable Asantes can be.
So,
if you think you're offended by that, you continuously abuse a certain group of people. Precisely. And you want us to keep quiet because in the
and many audience.
This whole issue is not necessary because the information is out there. Let's read what went on during the slave trade. What Asantes did in the slave trade. Their involvement in a certain aspect of the slave trade. It's true that they captured the Northerners and sold them to the Europeans for gas and other items. Then we make a conclusion about this case, because we cannot just hear what Wode Maya said or Okatakyie is saying to make a conclusion. You have to also read the history. It's out there. You can get any information you want so that you make the comparison you want. So don't just be there and make any kind of comments you like. Just read, make comparison, and make your statement so that you understand either Wode Maya or Okatakyie Afrifa. But what we want in the country is peace. because we don't want any tribal war. What is happening now is like most of the tribes are against the Asantes, and Asantes are against most of the tribes in the country. It shouldn't be so, because we are one people, and anything that is happening is about Ghana. So bringing tribal issues among themselves is very bad. You should end this so that there will be peace among the people of Ghana. Thank you very much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share my videos. Thank you.